Hello, Provo City. I am Superintendent Dow, and I am the Superintendent of Provo City School District. Today is Friday, October 27th, and I just want to give you an update on all of the things that we're working on as a district and give you some highlights of some different things. First and foremost, we had a board meeting last Tuesday. A lot of the time that was spent at board meeting was talking about our strategic plan, and you can go in and watch that on YouTube. Our consultant worked with our board members to start formulating some of the ideas and thoughts surrounding a core mission, vision, and values for our district. And so what will happen is kind of brainstormed a lot of different ideas, and then our consultant kind of takes that and wordsmiths it. They're going to bring that to the steering committee on November 7th, and then they'll provide feedback and give some ideas and further direction to the board, and then the board on November 14th will start to finalize that. We're also going to be looking in a future meeting at Utah's Portrait of a Graduate and looking at how this really applies to Provo City School District. Many school districts have taken that Portrait of a Graduate and really customized it to the values, mission, and vision of their own district and tried to simplify it to really represent what it is we're trying to accomplish with our students. And so look forward to that as well. And there are going to be many opportunities for all individuals within our district to be able to provide some feedback. So I'll keep you updated about that, but I did want you to be aware of that. We also had a great conversation in board meeting about a proposal for inclement weather procedures. And so you can go onto our website and find those under the board meeting. It will be an attachment that is tied to that specific agenda item, and you can read over that. This is not finalized. We do want to have feedback. We've sent it out to principals and to teachers to receive some feedback there. We want to make sure that we're being very transparent about what our process is and trying to alleviate stress on families. It's so hard to plan when weather can be unpredictable, and we know that oftentimes a decision is made and it's not going to be favored by this group, but it might be by this group. And I just want you to know we're going to try to do the very best that we can to keep kids in school, but we also want people to be safe. And so please look into that. If you have any feedback, you're welcome to email me. You can talk with your board member about that so that we can make adjustments. It's not a policy. It's something that can be very fluid. And so if you want to even go in and listen to that discussion, it wasn't a long discussion, but there were some good questions that were asked in that process. You're welcome to do so and can find that on our webpage and watch it on YouTube. Also want you to know that I did send out an email. I've had lots of questions about dress code and what the actual dress code says and how do we enforce it and what does that look like. And please know that dress code is always a very divisive policy. It's very difficult to get everybody to agree that this is appropriate. We have people who think on both sides of this particular issue. This was a policy that was and procedure that was put into place over the course of last year and was adopted at the end of last year. Did receive opportunities for feedback throughout that process, and certainly as we move forward, we're doing the best that we can to ensure that that our students are prepared for school, but we also recognize it's a parent responsibility to make sure that their student is ready to go for school and in appropriate dress. So we're using this as guidance for parents. We want to collaborate with parents to make sure that that happens. Understanding that we have lots of different views on this particular issue, and we appreciate your ability to recognize that and move forward from that. So if you have any questions or feedback, obviously you're more than welcome to email me, talk with your board members, realizing that for every person who has this opinion, there's just as many people who have a differing opinion, and it really is an effort to try to alleviate all of the concerns across the board and create a standard. So also want you to be aware that we're coming to the end of fall sports for our high schools. We did have volleyball playoffs at UVU. We do have 2 football playoff games tonight. Provo will be playing at Provo High School against Payson High School at 6 o'clock. We also have Timpview High School who will be playing on the old Provo High School field that's now owned by BYU. So thank you to BYU for allowing us to use that space since Timpview does not currently have a field. And that game will also be at 6 p.m. and they will be playing Orem. So we are really cheering on both our Bulldogs and our T-Birds tonight. So our cabinet members will be juggling between both games. So we hope to see you there. It should be a really fun evening. Also wanted you to be aware that we did a podcast last week with Richard Kulata, who is the CEO for our International Society on Technology, and he does a really good job of explaining how to use technology in a really positive and good way with students, and provides some advice for parents as well as teachers, and is really starting to inform the way in which we think about using technology in our classrooms and how we can evaluate its effectiveness. So that came out last Friday, and then Dr. Susie Cox, who is our Director of Innovative Learning, talked a lot about how to design instruction in a classroom to really maximize student engagement, and she really helps teachers to find ways to use technology as a tool, not as the actual deliverer of the instruction. So if you want to listen to some great podcasts that talk about that, please tune into those. Those should be pretty fun. Just want to thank all of our elementary parents for participating in SCPs this week at their elementary schools and collaborating with their teachers. And so we're excited that we get to work with you as we educate the children of our district. So those are most of the things that are going on here in Provo City School District, and next week is Halloween, so here we go. We're looking forward to a lot of celebrations and fun times in all of our schools, and so until next time, have a great weekend, everybody.